Have you guys ever wondered what all-out army men warfare would look like? Well, I would say it probably would look something like this. Extremely chaotic, with every single army men faction fighting in one world war. Each nation, of course, having its own strengths and weaknesses, from aerial attacks to naval bombardments, infantry deployment, and mobilized vehicles. That is exactly what we're getting in this brand new Attack on Toys mod. It's gonna be a little bit laggy at the start, but I guarantee it'll be worth it because this is the largest army men battle we have ever fought in Attack on Toys. So let's go ahead and meet the nations. Now, this map is modeled after Risk, which is of course a world map. The orange nation here represents South America, and they mainly focus on factories as well as ports. The tans are North America as well as Greenland, and they're an all-around faction. They have factories, ports, aircraft, they really have it all going for them. The grays are stationed in Europe, and they primarily go for a defensive fortification style. They do have the Iron Curtain here between them and Russia, aka the Greens, and they focus on a lot of defensive positions like I said before. Anti-aircraft, mortars, towers, and a lot of factories to produce more of these things with their builders. The Greens here are Eastern Europe as well as parts of Asia and Middle East. I'm calling them the Russians just for fun, and they mainly focus on vehicle production. They have the most airports, the most tank spawners, and the most infantry spawners, so they're all about producing more and more and more. The blues here make up Australia as well as parts of Japan and other island nations in the Pacific, and they highly focus on planes as well as naval ships. Very little in terms of vehicle support or infantry support, but a lot of navy and aircraft. Last but not least, we have Africa here, which again is a bit more naval as well as helicopter oriented, and a few plane hangars as well towards the north. Every one of these nations will be fighting in the largest army men world war we have ever seen. It is going to be incredible, and it will generate a lot of lag, so be prepared for that. If you guys do enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into this thing. Instant Gaming has literally saved me thousands of dollars from their deals. And if you're watching this video, I'm guessing you like Army Men. You can get the Army Men RTS for $1.07 on Instant Gaming. You can play the Men of War Assault Squad 2 Army Men mod for $3.23, or the absolute classic Toy Soldiers for just $7. Let's not forget, you can also save crazy money on Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation Network cards, and Nintendo eShop credits. Trust me, Instant Gaming is extremely safe and my favorite place to buy cheap games. Alright boys, I've set my graphics settings as low as they can go because this is going to be a big boy battle. All out warfare between all of the army men nations here, but don't worry, as nations die out, the lag will subside because there will be less entities on the battlefield. So if you want to skip ahead to later when the lag won't be as bad, I do not blame you one bit. But each nation, of course, has those different powers that we talked about, so I'm very curious as to who is going to end up winning this thing. The grays over here, defensive capabilities will give them a strong start, I think, but unless their builders can continue to build more and more defenses, they might end up just biting the dust. They do have a lot of medic tents, which is essential for a defensive war, but those medics got to start healing almost immediately. I can see they're bombarding the greens a good bit over here. Look at that mortar spam fire over this way, and they are hitting those green spawners right now. The greens, of course, have nearly no air force. They've got a tiny amount of heliports, but that's about it. Other than that, they are vehicle spamming. The blues over here with their naval prowess have a lot of submarines and battleships starting to surround the green side over this way, but green vehicles are spawning in at the mainland and pushing towards the shores to start taking them out as well. So that might end the blue navy in this region, but they can always spawn more over here. The reds, however, seem to be extremely aerial oriented. They have Apaches, Chinooks, Hueys, the whole shebang moving in. Now these blue cruisers should be able to kill a number of them because they do have pretty good AA guns on them, but if they do make it to blue shores over here, oh, did we crash? Uh-oh, no. We did not crash. Let's go. Okay. The lag does not win today. If they make it to the blue shore over here, these things could be absolutely kaputs because they will be able to drop their paratroopers and just torpedo and bomb these guys, but they are dying out pretty good. I think the blues are doing a nice job of defeating them. They're going to peter out and not make it, I don't think. Over here, Red Homeland has a lot of tan vehicles over it, but they're almost all dead at this point. The Reds managed to take them out pretty decently. The Grays I feel for, because they are smack dab in the middle of this entire mess. They could easily go down just from the sheer fact that they have a terrible spawn. Europe is in the center of all of these different nations and will just get absolutely destroyed by everyone attacking them at once. The oranges over here are also facing a similar problem, although to a lesser extent, but basically the reds are spamming mortar fire into them, while the tans are doing the exact same thing, and these guys are fighting a two-front war on one of the smaller continents that we've got on this map in particular, and so these guys are just having a ton of their infrastructure destroyed right off the bat. And the tans I'm very curious about, because the tans have, again, an all-arounder. They are one of the largest expanses that they've got here, and they've got tanks, they've got, Air Force, they've got Navy, they've got infantry, and they've got defenses. They went for the all-around approach. Now, they don't specifically excel in anything, but they've got pretty decent capabilities for everything. So, the Red Air Force will be able to defeat the Tan Air Force, but the Tans will have the backup of ground units and things like that. Also, it's fun to note that there are mines between pretty much every major continent, so there will be some boom booms due to that. We have one tiny little green adventure squad going into Tan territory over here, which is, of course, Alaska right now. So, the Greens somewhat being the Russians makes sense because, they can invade Alaska and all that stuff. So one green battleship is out here, and it's getting healed like crazy by medics. It looks like the Greens planned ahead and knew this battleship would be on its own, so they've planted a lot of medics over here. We've got a little bit more going for them over here too, but I don't think they'll do too much. All right, let's head back to Australia, aka the Blues over here, and their navy is landing on, I don't know, is this Madagascar, I guess? Would be this tiny little island? Although it's way bigger than Madagascar should be proportionally, but the Navy is right there. They're getting destroyed, though, because the Red Air Force is just coming in like crazy. Look at all those choppers infiltrating. They don't actually have many planes. It's almost all helicopters that they're fielding, but the Blues are having to deal with them, and the Blues are nice and secluded over here, so, they don't have too much else coming at them beyond the Greens on the opposite side near Japan, but that is a huge Air Force coming into Blue territory over here, and the Blues are going to have to be pretty defensive here, especially because I think the Air Force wiped out a lot of their Navy ships. And the Greens defeated the Blue Navy over here. So apparently the Navy is not all I chalked it up to be, because both the Reds and the Greens managed to kind of defeat the Blue Navy. And now we have a massive sea invasion of green vehicles into Blue territory over here. And the Blues do have some defenses, but probably not enough to actually stop the Greens from getting in here. There are also these random armored trains throughout the map, which I think is kind of funny. So the Blues have one here. I think the Greens have one as well somewhere, but I would say that's probably not going to help the Blues too much, especially with the Reds just going all out crazy sicko mode over here. This is such a yikes, dude. Okay, not good. I am fearful for the Blues, that's for sure. And the Grays. The Grays have lost a lot of their territory. This entire portion of Europe was filled with defenses before. Now they're getting pushed back big time. England over here has been overrun by the Tan Force, and now they're starting to get into France and Germany and stuff like that over this way. Grays are trying to fight back. They do have some spawners available, but not nearly as many as the Tans and the Greens have. They do have some of their defenses over this way. What is this, like Italy over here? Yeah, I guess this is the Mediterranean. So in Italy, they have some more mortars and things like that still alive, but for the most part, I think the Grays are going to bite the dust. Maybe first, unless it's the Blues. I think the Blues and the Grays right now are doing the absolute worst. The Greens and the Tans will start fighting over Europe after this, I take it, and we'll see even more of a slaughter in this area. Oh god, the Green HQ is dead, and it is flopping around like a little seal or something. The Reds are also taking some serious losses over here, with the Tans nearly completely destroying the Oranges over this way. Now Tan vehicles are starting to push into Red territory a lot more, and the Blues are still putting up a good fight against the Reds. I will say, it looks like the Blues have mobilized a lot more of their Air Force now. They've sort of realized, ah, shoot, we got a double production, and they've still got a battleship out there fighting as well, which is good. Oh, and they've got one over there too. So the Blues are pushing out with more of their naval powers and a little bit more of their aircraft, but for the most part, they're in trouble, and they're combating the Reds, and the help of the Tans against the Reds probably is helping the Blues a good bit, but I still think Blues, Grays, Reds are the weakest powers right now, and probably Greens and Tans are the strongest. Actually, the Oranges might be the very weakest. The Oranges are getting destroyed. This will probably end up being Tan versus Green at the end of the day, just like every other major Army Men battle ends up being. But the Orange troops over here, you know what? I gotta give it to South America. Despite going down fairly early here, they're putting up the good fight, and they are staunchly defending now. Their HQ has yet to fall. They will not capitulate. These guys are doing guerrilla warfare in the south. The Europeans, though, not doing so hot. Spain is gone. Italy is, for the most part, gone now. Germany is pretty gone, too. Strangely, France, for once, is not surrendering. A very monumental moment in French history here. For once, the French are doing their best and not capitulating. Vichy France will not be repeated here, but the Tans will continue their invasion over the English Channel over this way. They've got boats, they've got tanks coming in as well. Again, the Tans are all-arounders here. They've got a little bit of a navy still, and it looks like they're spawning in more helis, but most of their aircraft are going towards the Oranges and the Reds over this way. The Red versus Blue warfare is a constant at the moment, continuing to pummel each other with aircraft and navy support. Another blue naval vessel going down the battleship, getting absolutely crushed. South Africa is still extremely strong, and we can actually see builders are building down here with those highlights. You can see, yeah, there's another builder. So the Reds are actually expanding their south, which is a really good idea. I don't really see any other nations building right now, and that can turn the tide. If you start building more and more and more and no one else is, everyone else is just focused on destruction, it could be really, really bad. The Greens, again, are pretty sparse out here. They have a huge swath of land, but very sparsely positioned units. However, it doesn't matter, because to invade this much land is going to take a lot of effort, and everyone else is pretty much distracted. Oh, the Tans are building here too. Builder spawned a medic tent. Hey, that's actually pretty helpful. Not bad. Okay. So the Tans are also starting to build as well. I would say the Greens have the most space to build, but I don't see any building going on for them. They are too hell-bent on invading the Grays over here. So why don't we go ahead and watch the Gray invasion, because I think the Grays will die out here. Yep, and very quickly, the Grays are completely destroyed. Very, very small defense in the south of France here going on. Greens pushing from the east, and the Tans from the west. And these guys will definitely get destroyed. The Grays are basically done. I think they're the first, yeah, because the Oranges still have that little tip over here of South America. These guys, I'm really proud of the Oranges for continuing to hold out like this. And they're spawning in robots too. So they, I think, built that robot spawner. So, I mean, they could make a comeback. It's going to be really, really difficult with the Tans pushing them so hard. But it could definitely happen, and I'm proud of the Oranges for sure. The Reds over here continue to solidify their southern base. It looks like they've still got builders out here building away, which is great. The North is really screwed. How did a Gray tank and infantry troop get over here? Why aren't they defending their home base? You would be so much more valuable over here. This is why the Grays lost, because they're a bunch of idiots. What are you doing? This is not helpful at all. Like, why are you on the offensive? You need to be defending. Wait, the Grays do still have a builder. The Grays do still have a builder. Maybe they could build their way back if he never died. Look, he's building a little survival tent. Oh my god. No, he stopped. He's gonna die. He is dead. Rip, rip, potato chip to my man. The Grays are a lost cause. The Greens and Tans now start their fight. The Tans trying to stake a little claim over here in Europe and start moving past that Iron Curtain position that the Greys had set up there. So we'll see if that ends up working out for the Tans or if it works out for the Greens. The Greens still very powerful. The Tans still very powerful as well. But the Tans, I would say, have more enemies. I mean, the Greens, of course, are launching their very large invasion into blue territory over here, but they don't really need to. There's no pressure for them over here, but the Tans are pressured by the Oranges and the Reds, so I would say the Greens are in the best standing currently to win. Look at this, the Orange robots actually getting out here and doing some serious fighting. I really want the Oranges to win. I don't think they will, but it would be so cool if they did. The Reds continue to bully the Blues. The Blues are responding really nicely. And, you know, they're managing to hold out their shores, but they right now have the largest invasion forces going up against them. Between the Greens and the Reds, it's going to be really hard for the Blues to survive this, I think. They've still got a lot of infrastructure left alive. Oh, they do have a builder back here. Finally, people are starting to build more. If the Blues really do start building a lot more in the back over here in Australia, I think they could be okay. It's going to be rough, though. It's going to be really, really rough. Yeah, I don't know. There's no Antarctica, by the way. There should be Antarctica. That'd be cool. I'm really curious who is going to win this warfare over here, because the Reds, I just noticed, are spawning a lot of robots, which can be a game changer. These things cost like 15k to purchase, which is really, really expensive. So having this many of them, it's a powerful unit. That could absolutely decimate whoever they go after, and they're clearly going after the Blues very, very hard. I think right now, the Tans they're strong, but they're not really in contention at the moment for victory. They did finally destroy the Oranges. I'm very proud of the Oranges for trying their best, but if you were rooting for the Oranges, rip, they are gone. The Greys and Oranges are no mas. They are done for this world war. I think right now, in terms of standings, I would give maybe the Greens number 1, the Reds honestly number 2, although now they're positioning with the Greys and the Oranges gone. They are at the center of all 3 different nations, so the Tans are already starting to hit their other shore. So their positioning is one of the weakest, but they do have one of the strongest, most concentrated armies. I would say the second most powerful is probably the Greens. Third most powerful is the Tans, because I just really haven't seen them produce all that much or do all that much warfare. And then the Blues are probably in last place, sadly. They're strong, they're powerful, but they're really getting attacked hard by the Greens and Reds. That's the real problem with the Blues, I would say. There's just the overwhelming assault going on them. Everyone seems to be wanting to go for the Blues right now, and it's resulting in the Blues having a lot of troubles. So why don't we do a little time lapse here and see what happens long term. All right, boys. Well, the Blues have definitely had a little bit of their territory destroyed by the Greens, but the Greens now seem to be fixating their army more on the Reds in the middle. The Greens also took their train. Rip the choo-choo, boys. And we've actually got some artillery strikes coming in from the magnifying glass. That one disappeared right there, but that's a pretty cool superpower that you can use in this game, and I guess the nations have access to the artillery backpack to use those power-ups, so that's kind of cool to see. Reds and Blues still going toe-to-toe over here. The Tans are launching pretty strict assaults into Red territory. They're not being successful just yet, but they're getting in there a good bit and doing some damage to the Reds, so the Reds are going to be weakening. The Tans and Greens just continuously attacking each other. It looks like a builder is making a little bit more of an HQ over here for the Greens, so that could be helpful in expanding their territory and then taking on the Tans a little bit more. But for right now, it's fairly even fighting over here. The Green battleship in Alaska did end up dying. Oh, the Tans actually have taken over the Orange territory and are building a fortress down here as well, so they're kind of colonizing that area over that way. And then maybe they'll start building a fort down here in Africa. So the Tans just kind of being that silent killer right now, expanding their nation, doing just dubious things while the major fighting is happening over here in the Pacific, and just complete and utter chaos for the Blues, Reds, and Greens over this way. And the Tans are just kind of being conniving, doing their thing over there, while everyone else dukes it out over here. So this could be big for the Tans overall in the long term. They still got to fight the Greens over here, and they're still doing small attacks on the Reds over here, but overall I would definitely say that this is a pretty good situation for the Tans to be in. This is very, very solid for them. They're being smart. They're being very smart. Oh, I do see there is a builder over here, so maybe they will start that building over in Africa over here. If they have a base of operation over there, they can hit the Greens easier, they can hit the Reds easier. It all works out. The Blues still getting pressured by literally everyone, so I feel very bad for those guys, but it is what it is. You can't win them all, and I think the Blues will go down. I do have a feeling a number of people probably were rooting for the Blues because a lot of people really like the Blue Nation in Army Men Civil War as well as Army Men Unifying Wars, which will be returning. I took a little hiatus from Army Men Unifying Wars because I wanted to concentrate on some more Star Wars battles, and so I was replacing those with Attack on Toys, but we will do some more Army Men Unifying Wars videos very soon. I promise you that. All right, let's watch the war between Europe and North America right now. The Greens and the Tans, and you can see the fighting between the Blues and the Reds in the background while this happens, but I think this will just be all-encompassing, very, very cool. Tan on green warfare over this way is just complete back and forth. Neither seems to be taking the edge or anything along those lines. It's just constant fighting. The Tans, though, have made more gains into red territory over here. The red robots continue to spawn back here, so those are going to be a pain to deal with. But the Blues are distracting most of the Red Air Force. And then the Red Air Force distracting the Blues is allowing more and more Greens to come into blue territory over here. There's gains going on pretty much everywhere right now on this risk map. And I think the most exciting has to be Tans into Reds over here, in my opinion. I think that the Tans have a very decent shot at destroying a larger portion of the Red Alliance over this way, so let's continue that. I think the Tans during that time lapse made a little bit more progress. They've got a bunch of robots coming over now and a much more sizable air force because they're building in the water, which I think is kind of funny. The builders have gone ham for the Tans over here in South America, so they're going to be launching some major assaults into the red territory over there. Over here, the Blues have pushed back against the Greens pretty nicely, and I think that's because the Greens are now fighting the Reds, and the Greens did try and establish these marinas over here. They ended up getting destroyed, so not great. But they do have another fortress being built over here. They're expanding over this way via some builders, and it looks like they've shored up Europe a little bit better against the Tans. So the Tans are going to have a harder time in Europe from now on, that's for sure. The Blues, though, continue to just chill. I think the Blues are still super weak. They're not making any plays. They are purely defensive at the moment, which kind of sucks for them, but it's what they got. It's all they can do at the moment. It's a bummer, but it is what it is, my friend. It is what it is. Let's just continue to let this ride for a while. All right, well, the Reds are hanging in there, man. They're still doing pretty well, even with the enhanced Tan reinforcements. The Tans are going absolutely nuts right now with base building. They've got everything going on. That's crazy. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we are alive. We are a green soldier. I think we're somewhere. Wait, we can check. Here we are. Yep, we're vibing. You have to be in the game in order to do this, so yeah, we are technically the Green Nation, but I'm not doing anything to help the Greens. We just exist and are chilling. So that's great. But the Reds over here definitely getting nailed pretty hard by the Tans. They've built more marinas on the blue side of things, though, so they're upping their invasion force. But the Blues are fighting back pretty decently. I'd say the Blues haven't really built anything, but the Greens have a little outpost they're forming over here directly outside the blue compound. So I'm actually surprised the Blues are even still alive through this thing. I kind of thought they'd be dead by now, but they're still there. They're still vibing it out. Greens launching large assaults over here against Tans. Tans doing the same against Greens over this way, more towards Spain. It's a whole war battlefield here. This is truly World War, and these factions are hanging in there, and I got to give them props for that because they could just die out, but they're continuing to fight pretty decently. So got to give them some props. Got to give them their roses. We have not seen the blue defense all that much, so let's watch the Greens attacking the Blues over here. We're honestly at an interesting equilibrium point, I would say. The Blues over here continue to just hold on tight. The Reds over here doing the same. It's the Tans and the Greens that are the world superpowers currently, and they're just not able to make that much of a dent in either of the enemy positions here, which is kind of why this is continuing on the way it is. Everyone just seems to be somewhat tied at the moment, with nowhere really to go. I mean, the Blues, it just would take a little bit of a push for the Greens to get in there, but at the moment, the Greens just are not able to commit all that much to it. How much scrap do we have, by the way? Oh my god. Do we have 1 million scrap? Is that 1 million? Yeah. We have almost 2 million scrap. I think we're going to go ahead and take control of the Greens. I think that's what we're going to do. It is still pretty laggy, but I think this is kind of like stalemate position, where the Blues are hanging on, the Reds are hanging on, and the Tans and the Greens are hanging on. And so, well, maybe I should let it run a little bit longer, I guess. I just don't want it to get to the point where the game crashes because it's been going on for so long, because that does happen. But, I mean, we got a green battleship going in, which is pretty hardcore, I will say. Let's give it maybe 20 more minutes. Let's give this 20 more minutes before we get involved in the scrap, and we see if the Greens and the Tans and the Reds and the Blues manage to really do anything here. So we'll give it 20 more minutes. Alright, it's been another 20 minutes. I think we help with green supremacy, because nothing is happening. No one is losing, no one is capitulating, and we have $2.5 million in our pockets, and I want to use it, you know? So we are going to be taking over the Green Army now, midway through the video, and seeing if we can't get a W for Russia. Come on, comrades, let us go. Let us go, my friends. Okay, let's start off with Apache spam. Let's just get a number of Apaches out here and get them attacking, because on the water side of things, we are going to get a number of battleships attacking, because battleships are incredibly overpowered. We're going to get some over here on the red side. We're getting this one on the blue side over here. That way we have a little bit of everything going on. We should probably get it some medics too. Hold on. Alright. Yes, sir. Get some medics out here for these battleships. Assist them as much as you can, fellas. And we need probably another one somewhere around here. But you know what? We're all the way over here. Why don't we go ahead and get some KV-1 tanks moving? Come on, fellas. Let's get that tank assault motoring on over here as well. And we are down to 2 million points now. So we've spent about 500k on this assault already, which is quite a number. Let's get our medics going. That's the big thing, is that the AI does not utilize medics nearly as much as it could be, so I think that'll help. Let's also get some mortar spam out here, because that will just absolutely crush them. Actually, you know what? I should be using the mortar men, because they'll actually be mobilized after this assault, which I think will be extremely helpful. All right, good stuff. We're now just absolutely spamming into the blues. I'm going to try and get another battleship over here to combat some of those reds, and they'll also be able to help with the blues. Hold on, get me some medics. Medic me, baby. All right, we're getting a lot of medics out here as well. Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, and now let's, you know what? Let's go with the big daddies. Let's go with the M16, the Bradleys. Get them out here. Get those chain guns spinning up. Let's start killing some of these boys. Come on, fellas. Oh, yeah, we're destroying the blues now. Absolutely crushing them. And as we do so, let's go ahead and get our plastic sweepers out here to acquire the goods and get our builders out here as well. All right, we're at 1.6 million bucks now. Go ahead and shoot a little rocket in there. Why not? All right, this is working quite swimmingly for us. All right, mortarmen, get out here and start firing into the blues as well. And let's make sure we're not getting completely crushed by the reds in the back. No, we're doing okay. We got plenty of battleships over here still fighting away. And so I think this force will be able to destroy the blues without me having to do too much more. So let's start shifting over towards the reds because we want to take out the weaker contenders before we go for the tans, which are definitely the more hardcore defenders. Look at this. All of the different colored officers still alive on the battlefield. They're all unconscious, probably, except for maybe the tan and the blue ones. But the other ones are definitely unconscious, so that's fine. Okay, we need to get some more battleships out here to start going up against the reds. So we'll get one here. All right, and let me swim and get the other ones out here too. All right, here we go. We're closer to red mainland. We can get our battleships out here. Nice. Oh, God. Let me into one here. There we go. We can spam a little bit. Yeah! A little bit of fire going out, but I'm going to try and make it to shore so I can do some more spawning. Yeah, shoot the reds a little bit. How are the blues doing? They're still technically alive, but I think we'll take them out pretty soon. I don't think they'll last much longer. All right, here we go. Let's get one more battleship out here in the Spanish Peninsula area. Oh, we got two more. Okay, well, that works. Screw it. That works fine. We'll get medics out here too, and then let's start getting... Let's see. I'm really focusing just on vehicles right now, vehicle spam, because I don't think the battle will last long enough to really... Oh, God, no. Are we under the map? Are we under the map? I think we can get out. Yes. No, wait. Yes. Okay, we're free. All right, yeah. Not doing vehicle 10s right now because I think we have enough builders and stuff like that to do that, and I think spawning in this whole arsenal is a lot more efficient. Oh, there's no space. Nah! There's too little space around these parts. We gotta move a little bit closer this way. Oh, there's a red officer drowning currently. Incredible. Incredible. Come on. There we go. So we can get more. Want more of these battleships? Yes, sir. Battleships super duper OP. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some medics over here as well. Yes, sir. And now we're down to $1 million at the moment, which is significantly less than what we started with. Let's get some Apache spam out here. We're spawning in so much stuff. It's so laggy, gentlemen. This is the lag tactic. All right. Daily lag ticks. I'm under the map again. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, give me some more vehicles. Give me some more vehicles. Spam them, boys. Spam them out here. Get them going. Get them going. All right, all right, all right, all right. Get them out there. Beautiful. And now I will get more medics for them as well. Keep these fellas alive. And I did die. I have perished. Okay, we should have our HQ still up, though. Oh. Wait, did our... Oh, no, we still have an HQ. Okay, good. I was going to say, it's Jover if we don't have an HQ. But no, we do. We do indeed still have the HQ. And we shall move forward this way. Still got a lot of stuff over here. Tan's still got a lot of stuff. Let's check in overall how we doing here. So, okay. Blues are continuing to be swept over here. There's still just like a tiny amount of blues. But I think our boys can finish them off, hopefully. We've got many green battleships over here, all just pounding the reds currently. Trying to finish them off as well, but the tans have such an arsenal now. The tans are really, really powerful. That's a bit of a yikes. You know what? I am going to build our tents and stuff like that, all right? The tans have Such a crazy amount of stuff. Let's go ahead and get all of our heliports built. Beautiful. Then let's get all of our plane hangars built. And one more. There we go. Beautiful. Now we go for the vehicle tents. This is just to combat the tans over here, okay? All right, we're trying to get these guys in. Working on it. It's really laggy. This game might crash, so just be ready for that, boys. Okay, let's get some medics in here to stay put and do some healing of these tents as we get more and more stuff in. And now we are broke. Okay. But hopefully they can defend and hold out. Oh, hello, tan officer. I'll just kill him real quick. And 16 FPS. This is painful. This is painful. Wow. Oh my god. Yay! Give me that scrap. Yes, sir. Okay, that will give us enough money for a couple of these army tents. Well, 3 of them to be exact. Beautiful. Now we can almost get a medical tent here as well. Boom. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and do a little bit more time-lapsing here because this thing is still far from over. Oh my god, the tans are just... Look how many marinas they built. That's disgusting. Tans might actually be unbeatable. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see. Ugh. Working on the reds is brutal, and the green or the blues too. I think. Oh, we did kill the blues. I think. Yeah, our boys killed them. I think they just now did because, yeah, our guys are all up in their business. So we finally killed the blues. It's just the reds and tans over here, man. Oh my god. Alright, let's do another time lapse. This could be a while, man. Hopefully it doesn't crash because there's a lot of entities on the battlefield now. Alright, the reds are finally wiped off the map. Blues are nowhere to be seen. It is greens and tans, and... this is disgusting. There's got to be like 50 marinas here. And they're building more. What is this? This genuinely might be a stalemate, I'm not gonna lie. Let's attempt a push. We've got $1 million again, so... we might as well go for it. We can go ahead and build medical tents here. Why not? You know what? Let's just do a big push. I think we just go for it. I think we just attempt it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to the sea over this way, and we're going to spawn in some battleships. We can get a lot of battleships. So let's just go for it. Well, problem is that finding an area where they'll actually spawn in is a little bit trickier, but we're getting them in a little bit. Somewhat. I don't know. We're trying. We're attempting. Some debris here. I can pick up a little bit more scrap, but we should still be able to get like 3 or 4 more battleships, I think. Which is great. I mean, look at that. Yeah, beautiful. All right, and get me some more over here. Not enough plastic. Okay, we have hit our battleship limit, but we have a lot of them. I mean, there's a lot here. That's great. Should probably get them some medics though, but I can't build. I have to go to the shore to build these things a few medics. This is so laggy. Props to whoever has made it this far in the video. I appreciate you tremendously. It's kind of sick. My dog is like woozling in the background because he got all wet during that last time lapse. We went and took a little walk around the building, but okay, hold on. All right, medicinal time. Medicinal men, go forth and heal, my friends. We'll spawn in a crap ton of you fellas and attempt to get some heals out. You guys, the only thing you need to heal are the boats. That's it. Just go for the boats, make it happen, okay? And let's see. I mean, we're out of money, so let's just see how this works. We might be in stalemate form here where, I mean, the tans, have so much infrastructure. We might genuinely be at sort of stalemate here. I don't know, it's getting really laggy too. Alright boys, another 15 minutes have passed and we've gotten nowhere. I genuinely think that this entire maze over here it's too much to attack. We've had 5 or 6 battleships going at it for the last like 40 minutes and it has not made a dent into it, and it's only expanding because of the builders. I also don't have an artillery pack, so I can't bomb it, I can't do anything like that, and even our 10 battleships that were over here are down to 4 and they haven't made a dent in this island either, and the Tans aren't able to attack us either. So I genuinely think we are at a stalemate position here, and what I propose we do is I let you guys comment down below if you want to see a part 2, if you made it to the end, and we divvy up the world map between the Greens and the Tans. You guys comment down below if you think the Tans should keep North America, South America, and Greenland, and the Greens get everything else, like it is right now, or if we should give the Tans maybe part of North Africa as well as Europe to make it a little bit more even, and distribute all of the materials across these two nations and have a part 2 finale to this where it's just Tans and Greens duking it out. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to hit that like button if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.